name is Bharti, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and a holistic healing facilitator, corporate trainer. And today, the reason that we are here is for a very interesting webinar on how we can work through this unknown period that's going on right now. And I know it's been on for a while, but it's really not something which we have grasped and kind of got hold of. So I'm going to share with you today a whole lot of understanding on what's going on in our mind, why that's so important. I'm going to share with you as well simple tools and techniques that you can work with to kind of help yourself if your emotions are scattered or if there is any kind of fear or anxiety for you or for your children, right? So we're just going to start off with that. If you have any questions, feel free to kind of put it in the chat comment here, or of course, you can ask me as well as we go along. So yes, let's start with this. So I'm going to start with a very simple question here, which is basically, how are you feeling these days? Because that's really, really important. Okay. And feel free to kind of, if you have a sheet of paper or if you have a book or a journal, to just make your own notes, because you can work with them. You don't have to share it with anyone, but it's going to be great for you to kind of go forward and work with yourself. So just think about what are the first few feelings that come to your mind when you just ask yourself, how am I feeling these days? It's been about 2 months, 3 months, some places 4 months, where all of this is going on. There is so much uncertainty. Now, even when things are shifting and changing and opening up, there is a different kind of anxiety, right? So what's going on in your mind? Just make a note of it. Even a mental note is great, okay? Also, think about what are the kind of thoughts that generally cross in your mind in the day, say from the morning, afternoon, as you go about doing your work, as you go about doing whatever it is that you have to. What are the kind of thoughts that are in your mind? What is it that your self-chatter is constantly going on with, right? So just again, think about what are the thoughts that you are harboring, what are the thoughts that are constantly in your space, in your family environment, because most of us are now, kind of in a space with the entire family together. There is not much time or opportunity to kind of have your own space or do your own thing to release whatever it is that's going on in our mind. So what's going on? And thoughts have energy, right? So what's going on in your mind is super important as well. So take a moment and just think what that could be as well. Okay, what's really happening is that we are in an emotional roller coaster, and there are moments where we are in charge, there are moments we are anxious, there are moments there is some kind of feeling of being lost, there are moments we find joy, we bake, whatever we do, we find ways to make ourselves happy. But there is an underlying uncertainty that is in our space right now. And what happens is, every thought has a vibration. Every thought has a frequency. No thought, no emotion is just random or not affecting you or your environment or your energetic space at home or work, wherever you are, in no way. So every thought is impacting absolutely everything that unfolds in your experience. It's the same reason that why is the same stimulus creating a different effect for different people. So a same piece of information could make someone extremely anxious and could make someone absolutely elated, right? Why is that happening? Because we all have our own vibration. We all have our own set of beliefs. Our fears, our anxieties, they show up differently. So our emotions show up differently, right? So we are currently, specifically nowadays, going through this emotional roller coaster. Let's understand how these emotions come up, right? Now, on a daily basis, you may notice your kids or yourself or your partner, whoever, you notice certain reactions. It could be a feeling of anger, it could be a feeling of impatience, it could be, of course, from time to time, happiness, joy, love. But a lot of times we see certain reactions that trigger us, okay? It could be a message from work. But what's happening is that whatever emotion that we are at the top noticing of people around us or even for ourselves is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? And what's really going on, specifically for those who have kids, we are still somewhere able to process what's going on, especially children. You will notice temper tantrums, you will notice, behavior which is not actually their natural behavior if you were to go back a few months back, or even if they did have certain traits of, being loud or extremely naughty or whatever, it would have heightened right now. And if you are feeling that way in any way, you got to understand that that reaction is coming from another space. Where is it really coming from? Okay, so have a look at this picture. It's self-explanatory. What we as parents see or what we as partners see is just the expression or is just the behavior. Okay, and we kind of say, oh my God, why are you being so impatient, or why are you throwing this tantrum, why can't you calm down? What we are seeing is just a tiny bit of the picture, but what's really going on, and it's not like they cannot comprehend. Sometimes even we don't comprehend where our triggers are coming from. So we may be feeling, or we may be screaming, or we may be very edgy or fearful, anxious. I don't know. You see what's going on in your space. But it's coming from a deeper space. And when we become aware of that, what tends to happen is that we can actually minimize the scatteredness of our emotions and of our energy in that point of time as we move along through these uncertain days. Okay? So just make a note of this, that every time you see your child behaving in a certain way, what are the things that you can work with, certain questions that you can ask them. Just keep digging deeper, because sometimes they themselves are not aware of why they are screaming or shouting or not using their words, depending on what age they are, if they are, teenagers, whatever is going on. So we need to understand where is it that they are coming from. Okay. Now, what's really important to understand is that ever since things have moved the way they have, ever since life has become different from what it used to be, it's easy now to say the pre-COVID days, the new normal, and we kind of find our own grounding when we, give it these terms. But let's understand what's really happening to each one of us, whether it's children, whether it's adults, whether it's absolutely anyone. The human mind has a tendency to gravitate towards whatever is known in life. Okay, always. The subconscious mind always gravitates towards what is known. And that is one of the key reasons why even when we have negative patterns in our life which we are trying to break out of, we tend to find difficult to break out of, is for the same reason, that the subconscious mind is very, very conducive to go into what is the known for us. Now, everything that's happening in these days is not a known. And when we are in this space where we are unsure, when we are uncertain, when we are not really in control or in charge of what's going on, we go through what's known as loss in our own space. Okay? And this loss is experienced through different phases. And if you were to just take a moment, step back and evaluate your own journey from the time COVID started to impact day-to-day life, and you can extrapolate this to any other area of your life where things have kind of shifted or changed for you. Initially, people start off with some sort of denial. Oh, this virus, it's okay, it's in China, it's not going to come to us, it's all right. I feel bad about it, but it's not going to happen. Then it starts trickling in little closer to life, and there is anger. What nonsense is this? Why did this have to happen? So there's a lot of anger that comes on. As you try to process it further, a lot of bargaining happens within our own space. Yeah, it's bad, but not so bad. Yeah, it can happen. The immunity is good, then it's no problem. This country is affected, this country is not. I can still do this, I can still do that. So a whole lot of negotiation in your own space. Probably, online delivery is okay, going for a jog is okay. So you create your own justifications, your own bargaining to kind of come to terms with this whole space. The next stage that often happens is depression, in the sense that reality kind of hits. So you've moved through a place of denial, you've moved through anger, impatience, you're blaming the government, everything has happened. You've moved through kind of finding ways of dealing with it. And then you're like, oh my God, when is this going to get over? Okay, so it really hits you. And then comes the stage of acceptance, wherein you're like, you know what? It's here to stay. The mask is my friend, washing hands and sanitizer, and so we go on. So everyone is going through different stages. And what sometimes makes it really hard is that in the same family, different people could be at different stages. And that's where the chaos really hits. Okay, so I may be feeling certain anxiety, my partner may be absolutely in acceptance mode, the kids could be in 100% bargaining mode, but I can go down for a bit, why can't the swimming pool at least be open? So everyone could be in a different space, and this creates more anxiety. This kind of brings the energy of the space, the house, the environment in which we eat, drink, do everything, go a bit dense. And that's when we really start to feel, oh my God, what's really happening? And I need something to tide over this time. I need some tools. I need some people, kind of move into crazy exercising. Some people have gone into like baking as though it's going out of fashion tomorrow. So you find your own coping mechanisms to kind of help you through it. Okay, I'm going to share with you now as we go on certain very simple, easy techniques that you can work on yourself as well as your children to be able to not let your energy scatter. But before I share those techniques and those tools, I want you to understand a very simple rhythm of why things are happening the way they are happening, right? The human thoughts and intentions can actually alter physical reality. Now, this is the fundamental basis behind, if you have heard of law of attraction or manifestations or absolutely anything in which you can change your reality. And that is true. You will notice certain people, they are just either so positive or nothing gets them down and things keep rolling for them. And there are others who are constantly in the negative, and even if things are going right for them, there will be like halts and stops and obstacles in between their progress. So what's really going on? What are the elements that are actually creating this or shifting this for each one of us? So the first step, guys, for all of us is awareness. And because only when we are aware of what's going on within us, can we create any changes, any shifts in our space, okay? How do we become aware? Let's look at these components which I've put on the screen, which basically says there are thoughts, there are emotions, there are energies, and there is physical body and physical reality. Now, to kind of decode this for you, everything in this universe, everything in our life begins with a thought, as simple as that. The thought of something can make me happy. The thought of something can make me angry. The thought of something can trigger me to bits. The thought of something can just completely make me calm. It all begins with a thought, right? So now if I was to think of a beautiful time in the next few months where I can be in a resort, just enjoying myself, that thought itself is very hopeful and it makes me feel very comfortable and happy and joyous. At the same time, if I was to look at, oh my God, next week, there is so much change going to happen, circuit breaker is going to open, lockdown is getting off, what are the implications? That thought can make me anxious or nervous or excited, whatever it is in my system that will kind of show up for me. So every thought is going to generate an emotion. And understanding or interpreting your emotion is your key, because sometimes thoughts can come so quickly and go, or we can be so occupied with something else that we do not even realize or pinpoint what are the kind of thoughts that's really going on in my mind, because I'm so busy multitasking or doing something else at the same time. But emotions are easy to catch. So I catch that emotion and I become so aware that yes, in this moment, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling negative, I'm feeling like screaming, I'm feeling angry, whatever I'm feeling, it's easy to catch that. So just in your daily routine, in your daily space, catch that moment when you feel the emotions kind of spiraling down, because every emotion has a frequency, and this is energy. This is the way it is. Every emotion has a frequency. When the frequency is dense, when the frequency is negative, like fear or resentment or regret or anger, our emotions are of course very dense, which means our energy will be very low. Our energy is going to be vibrating at a low frequency. What does this mean? This means that I will not be feeling light and enthusiastic and spontaneous or happy or willing or free flowing with life. My energy will be dull, sluggish, stagnant. I may not want to get up from the bed. I may not want to move and do something which I know I should be doing or want to do myself. So it's very important to become aware of this pattern of emotion that brings the energy down, because like I said, the thought and the energy can sometimes be so quick that we can actually miss it at that point of time. Now, when the energy is consistently at a low frequency, or at a negative vibration, so to speak, it starts to affect our physical body. So you will notice that if you are constantly thinking of something that's gone wrong, or you've had a really bad experience in your space, and you're constantly ruminating over it, thinking over it, if this, if that, if this, what tends to happen is we start to feel a little bit of tension perhaps in our neck, in our head. So whatever are our points in our body which are probably weak, or which are conducive to be holding on to this negative energy, they start getting impacted. So you may have your ankle pain showing up, or a migraine coming up, or some people have a respiratory issue. So your physical body starts to experience the effect of this low-lying energy. And when it's held on for too long, like childhood traumas or abuse or any kind of very negative experience, unforgiveness that we're holding on to, this energy creates an imprint at a cellular level. Then this kind of manifests into more serious chronic disease, etc., that we are aware of. When the energy tends to open up, the body starts to recover as well. That is why we've heard of so many people who have recovered with the power of their breath, people who have recovered with certain kind of energy healing, chakra healing, Reiki, so on and so forth. At the same time, even if you understand the placebo-nocebo effect that happens with medication and people who recover by having just sugar pills, because they have faith in the fact that they are being given this crazy new medicine which is going to cure them from absolutely whatever they are going through. Why? Because the thought has belief in it. This medicine is going to cure me. This medicine is going to make it okay for me. And when we have that belief, when we have that faith, the emotion rises. And as the emotion rises, the energy lifts. And as the energy lifts, the physical body is now able to heal itself or get better. So this is really important to, and a fundamental understanding to kind of work with yourself as well as with your kids as you go along, because it's so important to help our children understand that every thought they are thinking, every feeling that they are having does not need to be just shoved under the carpet. It's okay, it'll get all right. Don't worry about it. Let them explore that feeling. Let them understand where it's coming from. And only then will they be able to have the capacity to, power through absolutely any crisis that comes their way. Right? So this is just a basic understanding of this. Moving forward, how can we help with all this understanding that we have? If I tell my child thought, emotion, they're not really going to get that. How can we help our children to understand this a little bit more in their way? We help them to create a circle of power, for example. A lot of adults would also like to do that, because this will help the negative thinking. This will help the ruminating. Ruminating takes a lot of energy away from us. So when we are constantly thinking, when there is constant thought, have you ever experienced this? Where you have slept at night, you've got your 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever you get, but your mind has been active through the night. You've just been thinking about something or the other, drifting in, drifting out. And what that does is that even though physically you were lying down, no physical energy was being consumed as such for anything, you are still absolutely exhausted in the morning, because that energy of constantly thinking, ruminating has literally sucked out everything from your space. So helping your kids with the circle of power allows them to kind of segregate what's in their control and what's not in their control. The vaccine is out of my control. Okay, it's out of my control, but washing my hands, having good hygiene, wearing that shield or mask or whatever is in my control. So can I now create this circle of control, of power, so that I know if I'm doing what is in my area, and if that is going right, anything else that happens from outside, I am equipped in my way to deal with it. And beyond that, whether I think about it and get anxious or I just sit still and stay grounded, the effect's going to be the same. But when you are in your circle of power, one thing happens, which is you start to drift away from fear. Why? Because when you are in your power, fear cannot literally seep into your energetic boundaries. And for some of us, that may sound very strange if we've not been into the practice of perhaps meditation or energy work. It may sound strange, but give it a shot. The day you feel that through the power of my breath or through the power of my thoughts or just emotion, I choose not to get triggered by what this person says. I choose not to get triggered by that email that comes in. And if I keep repeating that to myself, and I am in my power, I am now less affected by what's happening outside. But if something just gets me off guard, that email, that message, that comment can literally prick through me like a balloon and I can shatter. So help ourselves and help our children to be in the circle of power so that we can keep fear aside. And the number one reason to keep fear aside is that fear rips immunity. And in this moment of time, the one thing that we really need is our immunity. So we can eat right, we can have all the manuka honey in the world, but if constantly we are thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what's going to happen? Is this one going to get it? Is this one going to get it? We are vibrating at the frequency of fear, and fear rips immunity. Now, in your own way, we need to help to understand as well as to explain to our children that there is absolutely no need to fear as long as we can be in our circle of power. And if we can prioritize those 5, 6, 7 things that we need to take care of, everything else then starts to vibrate at that frequency of control. Because frequencies don't understand tasks, they only understand frequency. So if I'm feeling in control, if I'm feeling healthy, if I'm feeling well, that is what I am going to attract into my space. But if I'm feeling nervous while even washing my hands, that washing of my hands and that nervousness is going to create a counter effect, and it's going to diminish the overall vibration that needs to be there for me as well as for my family. So that's one thing that we must kind of work with. So this basically tells us that when we are in charge of our inner world, we can let go of fear, and our outer world is going to then vibrate or manifest or unfold for us basis what we are thinking. So every thought, every emotion, all the energy that we are vibrating from within is constantly creating a new space for us as we go along. Okay, so we're going to do a very quick exercise, which is basically called the awareness energy exercise. So I'm going to ask you all if you are comfortable to close your eyes and do this exercise because it helps. If not, you could even just take a piece of paper and you could be writing it. So see how you would like to go about it. All you need to do is just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. And just try to remain with your breath for a few moments. Just breathing in and breathing out. And as you try to remain with your breath, you may notice that your mind begins to wander. It may go into the past, it may go into the future, it may wonder what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's very common and normal for the mind to do. But just stay with it. Just try to remain with your breath. Every time the mind wanders, just keep repeating in your mind internally, I choose to be with my breath. I choose to be with my breath. And children do this wonderfully. And I'll share with you the rituals that we're going to work with, that you can work with your kids as well. They are so amazing at it, much better than a lot of adults that I work with. Children are much easier to go into that space. So just stay in that space, breathing in, breathing out. Now, as you are connected with your breath, I want you to think about your health. Just take your awareness to your health and just let whatever thoughts that come, any images, any memories, experiences, anything that floats, to just kind of come into your space. Just give it a moment and don't judge anything that comes in. Don't try to justify anything. Just observe it. And once you're aware what it is, just let it go. And return back to the breath and notice the breath. If the breath has shifted in any way, try and tune into your natural rhythm and feel that breath. And then very, very slowly, I would like you to take your awareness to your relationships. Just think about what are the kind of relationships that you have, what is the general nature of them. Are they pleasant, joyous, happy, or is there a lot of arguments, shouting, screaming? Just bring it to your awareness, what comes up for you. And once you become aware of what's showing up for you, let it go and take your awareness back to your breath. Just breathe in and breathe out. And then slowly take your awareness one last time to your finances, your career, your abundance, money. What are your thoughts about your financial freedom, your abundance, money, security? And just let whatever comes up and observe it. And then let it go and return back to the breath, making a mental note of everything that kind of showed up for you in this moment. And then slowly opening your eyes into the present moment. Okay, so what we did here was basically just the first step of starting to become aware of what are the kind of thoughts and patterns and emotions we hold about significant areas of our life. Because what we are holding about our lives is what keeps manifesting. Why? Because consciously, we may want different things. Consciously, I may want a huge amount in my bank balance. But if I believe that making money is hard, or abundance comes very difficult, or whatever it may be, what manifests in my space is what beliefs I have. If I believe my health or my fitness or my body is out of shape, even though I may spend X number of hours gymming or working out or having the best food, I will still not experience the feeling of a healthy, fit body. So whatever thoughts and emotions we are vibrating into the outside, that is the quality of experiences we are experiencing every moment in life. So that's really important. So every now and then, take a few moments, and all those areas of your life which are important to you, just notice what's going on, and as we go along, I'll share with you tools with which you can kind of shift these beliefs. So if you have a fearful belief, you can shift it. If you have a low-lying belief, you can shift it. Because why it's so important is because our energy field, it reflects and it influences our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health, our spiritual space. It affects everything. And energy of one person in a space can very easily influence the energy of everyone in the space. But if we have a high vibrating energy and a strong boundary, energetic boundary, just like we need boundary to protect ourselves as doors or cabins or whatever from the outside world, we need energetic boundaries to be able to not get sucked into low-lying vibration around us. It's as simple as, have you ever walked into a room and suddenly you feel depleted of energy? Or that one friend whose WhatsApp can make you go like, oh my God. Okay, because if your energy is not stable, low-lying energy from outside can scatter your emotions and energy even more. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we are grounded well enough in our space. And I'll share with you a very simple way for grounding. And this is something I teach a lot of my clients, a lot of my children clients as well, that every single day in the morning we have a ritual, and that ritual is grounding. You must do that. So as you wake up in the morning, you take your awareness to the soles of your feet, okay? And in your mind, you can envision a tree, any tree, maybe an oak tree, like a sturdy oak tree. And like the roots of the tree are beneath the surface of the ground, same way we have energetic roots, energetic frequencies, because we know that earth frequencies creates impact on us. Moon frequencies create impacts on us. Moon frequency has impacts on the tides, on the sea, the ocean. And we ourselves are so much water. So all these influences creates vibrations within us as well. That is why sound healing works so beautifully. So now that we are aware that this happens, notice that your feet beneath allow any texture or sensation, even if it's hot, cold, to help you connect to that space, because energy flows where attention goes. So if you hold your attention, if you hold your awareness in the soles of your feet, and you just literally say, I ground myself into the earth, I feel strong, I feel stable, I feel whatever it is that you want to feel. You take a few moments, you say that, and then you go about the rest of your day. You will notice eventually over a period of time, you will feel a lot more stable and secure in your own body and in your own environment. Very easy, simple technique, but works wonders when done consistently. Okay, what happened here? Yeah. So let's begin with the balance exercises. Perfect. We have exactly the amount of time that we need. So the first exercise, and I wrote these down so I don't forget because these are really interesting. One is, if you already are not in the habit, for yourself as well as encouraging your children to journal, start that. Because like I said, the first step to any change, any transformation is awareness and acceptance of what is. Because only when we are aware of what is, only when we accept what is, can we change it. Otherwise, it's just chaotic, because then you're thinking of 20 things that you want to do and you don't get anything done in your mind. So especially start with a place of, where is it that I want change in my life right now? Where is it that I'm looking for stability in my life right now? What is it that's, eating up my mind space right now? Make a note of it, and then create positive appreciation points on that every day. Whether you spend 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it does not matter. But just even a few words of gratitude, of appreciation, you do this every day with the journal, and over a period of time, what you're doing is you are raising your vibration. You're creating a new frequency for yourself. So that's journaling and positive appreciation. Second, if you are having any kind of relationship issue, or even with your job perhaps, or anyone where you very passionately feel negative, definitely do the positive appreciation aspects for that person. You will be surprised the results that you can get with that. Even if you find nothing nice about the person, and you can just simply write, I am grateful for the learnings or the experiences that are making me stronger. What will happen is the low vibrations of this person will stop affecting you, because you are moving above from those lessons. So somehow train your mind through journaling to do positive aspecting of anything that's not going right in your life. And you will notice, as you do that regularly, as early as 21 days, it takes 21 days for a new neural pathway to be formed, new habits to be created, and new energies to completely shift. You do this just for 21 days, you will see a different result in that space of your life, or with that person, or with that job, whatever it may be. Okay. Second, so like I mentioned about the morning ritual, we also must have, along with the grounding that we do, we must have shielding. So for kids, it's very easy, and I love doing that with my children as well. We simply say, okay, and I have two girls, and they love rainbows and lights and things like that. So you got to be more creative, perhaps, with the boys, and make them shooting stars. I don't know, something more creative which they like. And you tell them that you envision this light coming, which is very beautiful light, or very strong light, superhero light. If you have teenagers, then talk to them in that way. Whatever it is, ask them to bring this light and create a ball all around you. And this is a part of your circle of power. Because when I know I am in this space, and I can give certain affirmations, I can give certain, experiences about it, that's how I will hold my day, that's how I will hold my thought. Teach them that if any negative thought comes to that mind, rather than slipping in that slippery slope of those negative thoughts, go back to your bubble and make that bubble stronger, so that that light is literally diced out of your space. And this becomes a habit to control negative spiraling down over a period of time. What this will do is it will make you so aware instantly when negativity seeps in. And you can, when the momentum is not strong, it's easier to kind of recharge from it or to get out of it. When the momentum takes over you, then you can sometimes get into that sluggish space where nothing feels right, absolutely nothing. So do this for yourself, create this shield around you every morning. It takes a moment, you can do it. You can associate it with your bath process in the morning. So after I have a bath, as I dry myself or as I wear my clothes, I also create this shield. So it becomes a part of your daily life, right? Then right now we're looking at immunity in a very big way, and a lot of places are opening up, things are opening up. So like we have energy flows through the body as meridians, and you would have heard of like acupressure, acupuncture, chakras, Reiki. So we know energy is flowing through the body. There are certain points in the body which actually help with raising the immunity of the body. So I'm going to share one of them with you, and you can share this with your kids, and they can do this every day. You can do this every day for a couple of minutes on each side, maybe 2 minutes, and we'll do that right now. So you start off with a cleansing breath, which is basically you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out through your mouth, and you do this 3 times. So if you would like, you can do that along with me right now. Just breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and then just breathe out through the mouth. One more time, breathe in through the nose, and as you breathe in, know that you're inhaling pure positive energy, and as you exhale, you release all the stagnation, all the negativity, anger, fear, anything that you're grappling with out. And as you do that, now you take your right hand and you place it on your shoulder. So literally the fingers should go like they should fall behind towards the shoulder blades. Yeah, if you can see that. So just hold it there, and you take your left hand and you take it down to your pelvic bone on the left side. Left on, yeah, absolutely, the other side, yeah. So just pelvic bone in front, just holding it there, and try to get in touch with the pulsation if you can. Some of us may feel a pulsation, some of us may not feel a pulsation. Just hold that space for a certain period of time. Your fingers, your hands are just beyond your shoulder towards the shoulder blades, and your left hand is on your left pelvic bone in front of you, and your fingers are just resting there. And as you hold that, you can simply envision a healthy body if you would like, or you could just focus your awareness on your breath, or if you're doing it with the kids, ask them what health means to them, or what is a strong body, and you'll be amazed what all they say. Sometimes you get the most interesting answers from them. And just do that for a few more seconds more, and at home you can of course do it for much longer. Then you release both your hands, and we do it to the opposite side. So you take your left hand across your right shoulder, and you take your right hand and you put it on your pelvic bone in front, where you can just feel the bone with your fingers and the palm. And again, you just kind of breathe in and breathe out, and envision a healthy body, envision a super strong immunity system, and envision life moving on in this healthy body very comfortably, pain-free. So everything that you would like, just doing that for some more time. And if your mind is wandering as you do this, keep bringing it back to the body and the health, because that just kind of doubles up the energy. Because energy flows where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. That's just simply how it is. So as you physically hold your attention to these parts of the body, as you, through your mind energy, hold awareness to a healthy body, you are in fact strengthening that entire space. And then you slowly just let it go and focus on your breath for a moment. Now, as you're doing this, I will share with you one more very interesting technique with the body that you can teach the kids as well, especially if they tend to get worried. If your kids get worried, you use your thumb. You teach them to just kind of take one thumb and use the other hand and just go around it and hold it for a few moments. One side, and just focus on the breath as you do that. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and out. And then take it to the other side. The other thumb you hold, breathing in and breathing out. So these are things that can be done any time of the day, guys. You can do it absolutely any time you notice a worrying emotion coming up. You can absolutely do that. At night, you must help the children along with whatever schedule you have. Maybe it's reading or it's nursery rhymes, along with the bath reading. As they get into the bed, must ask them one thing they are thankful for in that day. Okay? It really helps to bring their awareness into a good space, because when we sleep in a good space, we wake up in a good space. So just kind of ask them one or two questions on what has been the best today, what are you thankful for, and if there's anything that they are not comfortable with, help them with some cleansing. So the same light that you make a ball with, it just cleanses your body like a waterfall. I usually tell my kids, think you're standing under a shower, and they love that because they're quite small right now. They enjoy something like that. So just they feel all their anger, their irritability, whatever it is that they are facing, just leave their space. So that's another thing you can do. If anyone has trouble sleeping, then mindful body relaxation is the best. So what that basically means is you slowly take your awareness to different parts of the body, and you simply in your mind say, I'm relaxing my toes. And you give it a few moments, and then you say, I'm relaxing my hands, I'm relaxed. So you gradually go from the toes to the ankles, to the legs, knees, all the way up to your crown. And then eventually you kind of fall asleep. The other thing that works very beautifully is tapping. So I'm not sure if you have heard of tapping or if you have done tapping before. There are different points in the body that you can tap. But to start off with, you can simply tap on this part, which is known as the karate chop point. This really helps. So if you are, so you can start off with a statement like, even though I'm feeling very angry right now, even though I'm feeling very anxious right now, I still choose to heal and integrate, or I still choose to accept myself, or if it's children, I still choose to feel good about myself, I still choose to feel happy about myself. So you can use different things in that space. Okay, so you can add that. So you can use it with this. There are different points. I am working with kids of a certain age group on the weekend. It's a free trial class which is for 6 plus to 12 kids. In that, I'm teaching them all the points, and that really helps kids. So you keep saying, even though I'm feeling very anxious, even though I'm feeling very angry, I choose to feel happy about it. And you give it a scale and you feel a whole lot better, because when you say certain affirmations and you tap this meridian, it's a very, very powerful meridian. What it does is it reverses that negative flow in the body. It helps you get out of the fight flight mechanism. So it really, really, really helps you. Fight flight reminds me, the other thing which we really need to do in days like today, like what we're going through, is calm the nervous system. Because if the nervous system is in a hyper mode or overactive mode, we are constantly in that fight flight mechanism. And being in that fight flight mechanism basically means that we are once again kind of bringing some kind of leakage in our energetic immunity system as well. So one very, very simple technique that I can share with you for the nervous system, calming the nervous system, is this point. Can you see this? Yeah, this point. So you just hold this point from here. You start from here and you go here. And this is the exact point that you need to hold. And you can just put all your fingers, you can put one finger, however it feels comfortable for you. And you can teach your kids this as well. On both sides of the wrist, just where this little finger ends here, right there. You hold that point, and you kind of, for kids, the best thing to do is they hold this point and they say affirmations. I am feeling great right now. I am feeling happy right now. I am feeling relaxed right now. I am safe right now. I feel confident right now. I know life is great for me. And for adults, of course, whatever it is that's bothering you, you can use an affirmation for yourself. Things are going great for me. It is easy for me to acquire what I need. Use what's right for you, no negative word. Simply what your goal that you're looking for, you kind of use that. And you do that on both sides for a few moments, for a few minutes, and then you kind of let it go. Let me see. Yeah, we have time for just one or two more, so I will just share that with you. Yeah, the sleeping one again. So for kids, one more thing that really helps is, you work with your fingers, because fingers have nerve ends as well. So something like, I am feeling calm. I am feeling calm. I am feeling calm. Make them do this at night before sleeping. It really helps. I am feeling happy. I am feeling sleepy. I am feeling relaxed. Again, the energetic points in the fingers and the powerful affirmation that you are going to speak with it really, really helps to kind of bring that calmness factor and that entire space of going to sleep much, much easily for you. The last one is about your breath work as well. So as you, through the day, what we say in mindfulness is, put certain alarms if you can. So through the day, put hours, every 3 hours to begin with, eventually take it down to a much shorter time. And in that time, just stop and focus for a few minutes on your breath, and do not do anything else at that point of time. Just focus on your breath. And you don't have to get into meditative position. You could be at work, you could be doing laundry, just leave whatever it is, take a moment, step back, and just focus on your breath. And as you focus on your breath, and as you just kind of go into that rhythm, over a period of time, you will notice your breathing rhythm tends to slow down. And when the breathing rhythm tends to slow down, we automatically get into a pace of more security. Our energetic body is more relaxed. It is more in charge. It is more, just in a whole lot better space. So yeah, You could start off with the cleansing breaths as well, which is breathing in through the nose. As you breathe in, taking in positive energy, and as you breathe out, releasing anything that does not kind of serve you in the moment. So that is the basic things that we have. I had put down some affirmations for kids if you would like, just I am safe, I am understood, I am calm, I am feeling easy, I imagine good things, I am loving, I am strong. Constantly remind your kids to use positive affirmations as opposed to why they are feeling negative. They must explore every negative emotion, but they must counter it with a positive affirmation, because all of these go into the subconscious mind. Every time a child is said something negative, the child takes it in the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind does not erase anything, it does not forget anything, it remains constantly. And therefore, even as adults, we would notice many a time certain things from our childhood can trigger us at absolutely any age, right? So every time your child is in a low space, help them explore the emotion, help them where it's coming from. I am screaming not because I want to scream, but I am screaming because I'm missing my school friends. I am banging doors not because I hate you, but I'm banging doors because I want to go swimming. Help them to make that connection and give them a positive affirmation after that. And these two steps together really, really help. Okay. And the last thing that I do want to share with you before we go is that on next Friday, we have a free trial for our class, which is Kids at Home, which is for ages 6 to 11, 6 to 12. And we are planning these classes all through June as well, because for different age groups. So if you do give your feedback with your child's age, we will incorporate a class for different groups of children, suited emotional needs for them, suited affirmations for them, suited tools and techniques to feel confident, calm. Individual sessions online are available for children as well as parents as well. So if you're keen, please do, kind of email us or let us know down, and we will be happy to share the links and the details for you. So yeah, that's what we have for today. I hope it was interesting for you. I hope it, kind of gives you some kind of tools to take back with you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to share the questions directly to me or in the chat, whatever works for you. Let me just put that. Otherwise, we are good. Somehow my screen has gone blank and I'm unable to see the grid. Okay, perfect. I get it here. I want to stop the share. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So great. Here are my chats. Okay, thank you. The chat is not coming on. Yes, somebody has asked me if this is for children of any age. Absolutely. The energetic points you can use for children of any age, no problem. Affirmations you can tailor make to however old your child is. You can absolutely do that as well. What is this? Yes, shield as well. Yes, shield is very important. Even for a tiny baby, the mother can create a shield for the baby as well. It really, really powerful. I guess that's all the questions I have. The details we can email you, that's correct, again. Okay. So yes, thank you all. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Shivani, Joe. Thank you very, very much for coming. If I've missed any question, there's something wrong with my chat box here, please do email us. Yeah, 2 new messages.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bharti. So sorry, I joined it very late today.
No, that's okay. In fact, we might have the link. I can share with you the beginning if you
Perfect,
like.
because I actually thought it was tomorrow. So
Ah, no, no, that's perfectly fine. We'll share the link with you.
sure. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, Andrea. How are you?
I
You're
really
mute.
appreciate it. Was really, really nice and helpful.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it.
And I think that my kids tried what the session you do for the kids, and
Uh-huh.
you teach them with the
The
tapping and those
tapping.
techniques.
Yeah.
So with my little daughter who is 11, it's quite easy to go through and flow.
Right.
With my son, I think that it's just also the resistance from my side as well, that he's reaching the teenager's age, and then
Right. Right.
it's like, no, no, no. And I find it quite difficult to shift that energy on my side, that how I can
Help
approach
him with that.
or
Yeah.
help him to just, because he was and he is very tuned into this
Right.
energy
Right. Of
field.
course. I know that.
But these days I feel a bit of resistance, or maybe it's just a fear in my mind that, okay, so how I'm going to help him with this
Don't
no,
force him because he's so clued in that maybe he's just going through a phase right now, and you just allow for
what
him to
it
know
is.
what's there, and then it's his choice as he takes it on.
Okay.
And as a mom, you can always do certain things like shielding and the light so that he's in a good space. But don't
Okay.
force him, because if you force him, you will probably make him more resistant.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining, Andrea. Thank you, Pooja. All right.